In the frozen darkness of the Arctic, where night never ends and secrets are buried deep, True Detective returns with a chilling new chapter. Season 4, Night Country, thrusts us into a world where the cold is as deadly as the mysteries that lurk within it. Two detectives, haunted by their own pasts, must navigate this unforgiving landscape to uncover the truth. But in a place where nothing is as it seems, who can they really trust? The trailer for the season finale kicks off with some seriously tense music, a low, ominous droning that immediately sets the mood. As it plays, we see Pete cleaning up the aftermath of what happened last time we saw him. The floor and rug are covered in blood, a haunting reminder of the brutal act he committed in the previous episode when he killed his own father to protect Liz. Then in the next shot, we see the blood all over Pete's body, which adds to the chilling atmosphere. What really stands out in these scenes is the numbness in Pete's expression. It's as if he's detached from the horror of what he's done, which is unusual and hasn't been fully explored yet. This could be a hint at where his character is headed in the season finale. After all, Pete just killed his dad, yet he doesn't seem deeply affected by it. There's a coldness, almost a lack of emotion that's unsettling. There's a theory going around that Pete might actually be the one who killed Annie Kay. While there's not a lot of evidence pointing directly to him right now, it's worth considering. Hank's last words, "Blood is blood," emphasize the importance of family loyalty, something Pete has already struggled with. A few episodes back, Pete betrayed his father by taking documents from his house and giving them to Liz, showing that he was more loyal to her than to his own father. When Hawk revealed that he didn't kill Annie Kay but just moved her body, Pete didn't seem surprised at all. It was almost as if he already knew. With Hank's comment about blood is blood in that moment, could he have been implying that Pete was the one responsible for Annie Kay's death and Hank helped him cover it up out of family loyalty? It's a compelling idea, but there are some things that don't quite fit. For one, it was suggested that Kate McKinley paid Hank to move Annie Kay's body with the promise of a promotion, which complicates the theory. Unless Pete is somehow tied to the Tuttle family through the mining company, it's hard to see how this could develop further. Plus, Pete has been portrayed as a good cop, seemingly the opposite of his corrupt father. I personally prefer the idea of Pete being a more honorable character, standing in contrast to his dad. That said, it would be interesting if Pete were more involved in the murder case in some way. If there's a twist involving him, I hope it's done in a clever and unexpected way. Let's dive back into the trailer. After the intense scene of Pete cleaning up the hallway covered in blood, we see him loading the bodies into a truck. The next shot shifts to what seems like a moment after Pete has dealt with the bodies. He looks clean and fresh, a stark contrast to his earlier state. In this scene, Pete is with Leah, and he asks her, "Can I ask you a favor, please?" Leah doesn't respond, just staring blankly at him. This scene likely takes place in Liz's house, as the mirror on the wall matches the one from the earlier scene where Pete was cleaning up. Leah is close to Kayla, having spent most of her time living with her. We know from previous episodes that Pete and Kayla are not in good terms. Pete was thrown out in the last episode. It seems likely that Pete is asking Leah to pass a message to Kayla, who's been ignoring him. The trailer then shifts gears, hinting at where the real action and development will take place. We see Liz and Evangeline out on the ice at a spot where they seem poised to break into a cave from above. This appears to be the only way in after the original entrance was destroyed by Silver Sky, and the next shot shows them walking through the ice cave, which looks eerily similar to the one where Annie Kay filmed her video just before she died. As they navigate the cave, we hear a voiceover from Raymond Clark saying, "She's awake," in a haunting tone. This phrase has been a recurring motive throughout the season, something all the characters have heard. Otis mentioned that Raymond Clark said he needed to hide and was heading back to the Night Country, which seems to refer to these very caves. It's likely that Liz and Evangeline will encounter Raymond Clark in these caves or somewhere nearby. There is a shot from a trailer released after episode 1 that shows Clark running away from someone. This suggests that whatever Liz and Evangeline discover in the cave might lead them back to the Salal Research Center, and perhaps that's where they'll find Clark instead of in the cave. The trailer also gives us a glimpse of bones laid out in a spiral formation, similar to the one seen in Annie Kay's video. But what's most intriguing is that something appears to be moving behind these bones. Whatever it is, it's clearly something Kate didn't want Liz to find, and it seems inevitable that Liz and Evangeline are going to stumble upon it. Overall, the trailer sets up a tense and thrilling finale with lots of unanswered questions and potential twists that are sure to keep viewers on the edge of their seats. This is the spot where Annie was killed, and her final words hinted that she had discovered something hidden. This moment is likely going to be a significant turning point in the show. Next, we see watery footprints on the floor noticed by Evangeline. These footprints seem to be a manifestation in her mind, possibly the spirits of the dead appearing before her. Given that the footprints are wet, it's likely that they belong to Julia, who drowned at sea. The last time Julia's spirit appeared, she had wet hair, reinforcing this theory. An alternative idea is that these footprints might belong to Raymond Clark. He was last seen without a jacket or shoes, so after coming in from the snow into the Salal Research Center, he could have left these wet prints behind. As Evangeline notices the footprints, she says, "There's something out there calling me." This line seems to be the first time she's vocalizing the eerie feeling she's had, and it's likely she's sharing this with Liz. There's also a clip from the Weeks Ahead trailer showing someone falling through the ice from a great height inside the cave. This makes me wonder if the voice calling to Evangeline, which I suspect might be her mother, is leading her into danger, possibly trying to take her away. It looks like this scene is set in the Salal Research Center, so I believe whoever falls through the ice will survive, whether it's Evangeline or someone else. Following this, the trailer shows a rapid series of shots. We see Liz running through the corridor of the research center, armed with a weapon, suggesting she's not alone. Likely she's facing off against Raymond Clark. He's seen running down the corridor wearing a pink coat, which is puzzling since that coat was found in Otis in the previous episode. The lights are out during the scene, reminiscent of the first night in the series, hinting that something significant is about to happen. Then, we see Pete digging in the ice, likely burying the bodies of his father and Otis in the spot where Evangeline told him to go, which is where Julia was found. This also seems to confirm that Rose is real and not a figment of Evangeline's imagination. Pete wouldn't have known about this location unless he had spoken to Rose, putting that question to rest. In the trailer, there is a moment where two hands reach out to each other. It looks like this scene is set in the same environment we have seen in Evangeline's flashbacks to her time in the military, and the hand on the left clearly belongs to Evangeline, identified by her distinctive tattoos. However, the hand on the right is a mystery. I couldn't match it to anyone we know. It's not her sister Julia, her mother, or NEK. So, the identity of the person reaching out to her remains unclear. Towards the end of the trailer, we see a scene that likely takes place after they've descended into the cave of ice, or perhaps just before. Evangeline appears to be drawn by something, almost like she's being called, similar to what Otis described earlier. He mentioned that when he and the other men were working in the cave, they heard a voice that lured them deeper into the darkness, especially on the day of the blizzard. It seems like history is about to repeat itself with Evangeline. The final shot of the trailer is a tense one because Liz falls through the ice into freezing water, struggling to breathe. I suspect she might have been trying to reach Evangeline and pull her away from the dangerous ice, much like what Rose did in the previous episode. We've got a bit more time to wait until it airs, but let's hope it's worth it. Are you all waiting for this movie to be released? Do comment in the section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.